Hey everybody, it's Rachel, Dixieland Gardens. I just wanted to do a quick video. Well, sort of quick. I've been thinking of some things that I wanted to put out there that I kind of rushed through and forgot, or I've done one video and then I thought, oh, I forgot to put that in there, so I'm going to start again. So I don't have video number 2, A, B, and C like I did last time. So anyway, and I've got lipstick on today, so I thought I'd shoot a video. So I am going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to try to do it smoothly so I can see. But I want you guys to see that I've changed my little light setup. If you remember, it was kind of over in this corner, and I had some lights going here and some lights going there and some lights going over there. Well, I found another shelf, and so I brought it up here, and I have kind of spread everything out, got my light system going, and you can see, with my little blanket, that the girls are growing pretty good. We've got let's go over here and take a look. So we've got straight 8 cucumbers here, and right here looks like we've got some eggplant going, some banana peppers, some tomatoes. I'm not sure if I know what those are. Do I? Yeah, Cherokee purples. So they're doing their thing. Everything is coming along pretty good. I've had a few things kick the bucket. There's some okra we've got going, and those are growing in those plugs. And you see, like, let me see if I can show it to you. So there's a root starting to come out. So it's ready to do its thing, whatever I'm planning on doing with it. There's a lot in here that's got better root systems than that going, though. See that root coming? Where am I? There I am. That little root system. So I've got to really try to keep those moist. But they're ready to go in somewhere. I mean, look at these guys. Good Lord. They are past the time. I think those are squash. It's got to the point to where I've moved things around so much, and I've only got like a popsicle stick for each little section, that I've lost count on some things. Good Lord, those are really doing great. That's awesome. But this is just, well, I'll show you. Let's go outside, shall we? Take us just a second. Open the door. And yeah, Granny, you can come out. Come on. So, I just don't have room. I've thinned out a lot, and tossed a lot over here in the fence row and up near my fence, and maybe something will take if the birds and stuff don't get it. So I'm just having to bring stuff out in the morning and take it in at night. I think that's more, hell, squash or cucumbers. But you'll see, with our garden, it's growing. We've got some little baby bok choy, man bok choy, some lettuces, some more, that little flat right there that I kind of did just like as just threw some dirt in it, some seeds. Well, that's got jalapenos, and I believe it's got some eggplants in it as well. But, all this will have to be transplanted out eventually. The way I look at it is, if I plant something and it kicks it, well, then I've got some backups. This is something I was wanting to show you, and I think I showed you a little bit of it the other day. I'm not sure. Let me get this up here. And we'll go over here to the table. I can sit this down. This sidewalk, it's good to have. Oh, they kill my feet. Okay, so in this jar, That and I know I did show you that. Remember I had I thought it was a cabbage and a tomato. Well, I had that tomato sitting out here, and I think the cat got into it, so it's a goner. But let's see what's going on. So remember, we put the paper on here to keep the light out so it doesn't get algae. But we've just got this little seedling sitting in this cup surrounded by this hydroton, and see where the root's grown? I mean, that root is growing. It is growing. There we are. And so that just sits down into this nutrient solution. I'm going to put it up here. Turn it around. So you see it goes into that nutrient solution and it drinks all that up. And as this solution lowers, there'll be air roots grow that will suck it up as oxygen. And so that would grow your plant. You don't have to do anything other than give it the nutrients and give it some sun. And so, of course, today we have no sun, but I'm still going to cover it back up. Now, I'll come back out here and tend to it. So that's that Kratky method. And I believe that was Kratky. Let's go back in. Oh, crow, cute chick. Again, there's our Dixieland Delight, that little huzz. All right, my dears. So, that's how the plants are going. We did get the 2 little greenhouses put up out at Granny's. And we've got those put up and kind of put together. And I actually, you know, each little greenhouse just had one little door opening. So we put them together like butt to butt. And I cut holes in them. And so now it's one big greenhouse. We've got tables made to put our buckets on, and we're hoping to go this weekend. It should be gorgeous, and get those took care of. Get something in there going. If it's nothing but like a sample, you know, a few of this, a few of that, definitely the squash, and get them going, see what we can do with it. So I'm excited about that. Wish us luck. A couple of things I just wanted to touch on. When doing when getting your plant started, let's say you're going to start from seed like I did, right? So we go and we get our soil mix, which is what I use, soil mix. And, you know, before I would just have put that in these little containers, put our seed in it, watered them, and it would have fluffed up and bubbled around. But I've learned since then, and you may already know this, that so now what I do is I've got a 5-gallon bucket that I've mixed up my my nutrient mix with. Okay, you could just use water, I guess, especially starting from seeds, but I use the nutrient, you know, the leafy solution mixture. And so I've got that mixed up. Then in the other 5-gallon bucket, I pour me some seed mix in there, some seed starter. I pour some water in it and get it mixed up to where it's just damp. You know, if you were to pick this up and give it a good squeeze, you couldn't squeeze water out of it. So it's not sopping wet, but it's moist. We all love that word, right? Some moist soil. So, and then I put that in my little trays or whatever I want to plant in, and put our seeds in and go that route. That seemed to work very well for me, so I'm glad I learned that. Second, the light situation. That's going to be probably one of my biggest hurdles, because I just don't have a lot of room or a lot of lights. So, I mean, maybe eventually I'll get some more of these shop lights. I want to point you toward there now, because I really like those. So let's go toward the shop lights. These little, like halo type deals, they're okay, you know, if you can get them in the right spot. But these shop lights, man, they really work well. I like those. I can kind of move them around. You know, I can rig them. And they really need to be whatever light you use, which with these halo lights, it's hard to do. But with the shop lights, you can do that. They need to stay 1 inch to 2 inches, no more than 2 inches above your plants when they start to come out of that ground. Because as soon as they come out of this soil, they are going to start reaching for lights. And that's where we're going to get leggy, like that, and not so stout, not so strong. Of course, with a tomato plant, like when I replanted this, I can just plant that all the way up. That's fine. It's not going to hurt it. But some of these little, like these little cabbages, they just break. So that's hard to do. So, number 1, wet your soil mix before you go to planting. Number 2, see like this one, look right there. I don't know. I mean, I'll probably, when I retransplant that, I'll plant it up. It'll either make it or it won't. But yeah, keep your lights down as close as possible, and everything should go well. Alright, moving on. Alright, let's go over here to my little book. I wanted to show you the nutrient mixture I was going to use, and I was going to have that set down here, so it'll take me just a second. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, see all my stuff? It's a show, buddy. So, the mixture I'm using right now contains Epsom salt, calcium nitrate, and the most important thing, if I can get it out of this, come out. Master Blend. Master Blend 41838. Now you can see these bags are just super small. I think I purchased all these off of Amazon. They just came together. I may eventually, we'll see, but I'm thinking about going into becoming a distributor for Master Blend. I really like this stuff. It's really good. I'm impressed. So, for our, let's say I want to mix these nutrients up to go on my vegetables, you know, my cucumbers, my tomatoes, my peppers, my okras. I mean, I may have to change it around, but as of right now, this is what I'm going to use for my fruiting. Let's get in on this. Fruiting. We want 12 grams of Master Blend, 12 grams of calcium nitrate, 6 grams of Epsom salt. Okay? Mix that up. Go ahead and dilute it if you want to. Pour it into a 5-gallon bucket with your water. And there you go. That's your solution. For your leafy veggies, 10 grams Master Blend, 10 grams calcium nitrate, 5 grams Epsom salt. Now, like I said, I have only used so far the leafy recipe. The leafy recipe. Actually, I have been, hearing I should have used the leafy and even diluted it even more. But I didn't, and you see, the garden is growing. Okay, the garden is growing, which is great. So, there's the second, or the third thing I wanted to talk about. I want to go back to this Kratky, Kratky, no air, no filter. you know, we're going to see if this really works. I've got, let me move this. I've got some buckets my husband brought home from work. I think they were for nails or screws or something. Now, like that little jar out there, and I think that's cabbage, that little jar is not going to hold a head of cabbage, but this bucket will. So, same premise. We're going to cut a hole. Got a hole. It's just not big enough. I'm going to cut a bigger hole. I am going to take my net cup. And because it's going to be that Kratky, I'm going to want this net cup to sit down about halfway. If it goes all the way in, and my nutrient solution is only supposed to come up to about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch, and it sits all the way down, then I'm limited on how much nutrient solution I can put in here, which is going to mean I'm going to have to fill it up more often. So what I want to do is I want to put this in this bucket about halfway. I'm going to put my plant. I'm going to cover it with the hydrogen. Or you could use, you could use pea gravel. The only thing I've heard is don't use lime. So, I believe that's right. So, pea gravel. You couldn't use perlite in this. But pea gravel, hydrogen, even those little plugs over here. You could put that plug with that okra right in here. Cover with the hydrogen to hold it in. Give it some stability. Put this in halfway up. Let that root start coming out. And grabbing that nutrient solution and just drinking it up, soaking it up. There will have little air roots come out. That'll then soak up the oxygen that's going to be left between the cup and the solution. And we ought to have a plant. And that's what they call set it and forget it. I remember that years ago with chickens or something like that. But anyway, we're talking about plants. So, I think that's what I'm going to do with this little jewel out here. I'm going to wash this bucket up real good. I am going to mix up a batch of solution. We're going to put it in there. Get our hole right, and get our cup in there. And we're going to sit that out where it gets some sun, and we're going to see what happens. Why not? Got to do something with them. So, that's my next little experiment. We see it's working in the jar, so we might as well try it in the Big Daddy. Alright guys, let me turn around and give you, I think that's everything I wanted to cover. I'm going to turn around where I can see what's going on. Okay, so I hope I've not rambled too much. I really wanted to touch base about mixing the soil with your water before you go to plant. Making sure you keep your lights down just as super close as you can, and just bring them up as they grow. Once they start touching, bring them up some. That's going to keep them short, stocky, and really strong stemmed. And regardless if you're going hydroponic or in the ground, they need strong stems. And then our mixture for our solution that we're going to be using, and then the Kratky method. That's pretty much everything I wanted to touch base with today. We'll be going out this weekend and trying to finish up on that greenhouse, and hopefully I can start bringing videos to you from the field. Hallelujah. More ticks. Oh, we've already been pulling ticks, so watch out for those. But I appreciate all 7 of you keeping an eye on me, watching my videos. Let's get growing, and I'll see you next time. Y'all have a good weekend.